It's Madden NFL 23, and we're going to look here at Derrick Henry. He's coming off an incredible effort with over 200 yards rushing a week ago. It's the Bengals and the Cowboys, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2-0. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8th. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They're led out by the former third-round pick now in his 11th NFL season, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
First play, Wilson wants to throw it. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. And there on your screen, Charles, the key inactives guys out this week.
And there's never anything good about any injury, but there's a silver lining to them, is that it creates opportunity for someone else on the depth chart. Will they take advantage of it with good play, or have they not prepared well, thinking they'll never get on the field, and they'll go out there and hurt their team?
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fielded at about the 28. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by Marcus Mariota, former 2nd overall pick back in 2015, now in his 8th season in the league.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
From the 41, Mariota. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there.
Still 2nd down.
They face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Mariota gives to Henry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. On third down, Mariota. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. No gain on the play. And it'll be fourth down. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Throwing, Mariota. Going to be caught here left side, Moore. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Bengals 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
First down, Mariota. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On second down, here's Henry. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And Tucker, the former Longhorn, puts this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Carter once more, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. On second and 10, Wilson. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Wilson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he gets this up past the 30. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge. When you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Mariota on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Mariota hands to Henry. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game. Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a 2nd one, that's on you. And if there's a 3rd one, I'm getting someone else in the game. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it? No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Mariota's throw taken in by Diggs. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Room here to run. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man,
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it again with Henry. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mariota now from the 50. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Again, Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kadarius Toney as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Final play of the half here, Mariota. This one is caught. It's Moore. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the visiting Dolphins who come away victorious on the road. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Kareem Hunt taking over. 2 touchdowns thus far. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
From the 27, Mariota. This will go to Henry out wide. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Now Mariota. And this is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Mariota. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Inside handoff. Henry. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They'll get this down to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage, Mariota. Got his man complete, Moore. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 17-yard line. Now they'll pitch it out here. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now a handoff running through the middle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. They'll run. It's Henry. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. To throw is Mariota. The quick slant caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Treston Ebner with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals will add to their 4th quarter lead. But that makes this a 2-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Now Wilson on first down. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. To throw is Wilson. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Wilson. Going right back to Fant. And he's going to get this down near the 25. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Rohrwasser's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Mariota gets this one to Juszczyk. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's the backup Newton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Cam to throw. He's got the hook up with Diggs. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Newton. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll run with a fullback, Juszczyk. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get him the football back. Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now Wilson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Wilson to throw. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Now the first throw in overtime for Mariota. He gets it to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. A first down carry for Henry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown, or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked on all the way through is going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they've been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
So for Cincinnati, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.